Hello, family. This is your friend Kenesha, and welcome to another episode of TNT Tuesday. Boom! Where we are blowing it up around transformation. Remember, we've been breaking that word down to transform, and that means to make a thorough or dramatic change in character, form, or appearance. And then we take the word transform down, we break it down into two different parts. We made our own acronym. Trans, we say, means taking real people and navigating towards success. And form is forcing ourselves into radical metamorphosis or focusing on the right mindset. So we're still in this series, thinking that leads to success. And last Tuesday, we talked about actions mirror our thoughts. So what we see coming out, they're just a reflection on what's in. So we're talking today about we act how we think. And our word for thinking is this. Let me read the definition. It says, the process of using one's mind to consider or reason about something, using thought or rational judgment. So we want to focus and lean into this notion of thinking. So I read a quote from Marcus Aurelius, and I want to share that with you. It says, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So then that drew me to this notion of acting and not so much lately, but years ago, I used to love watching movies and watching the best actor or the best actress. And one of the things they say about actors is that they really have to get into character to be emotional, whether that's extreme happiness, whether that's extreme sadness. So they have to cry sometimes on command. So there's a notion that they begin to think how someone in that situation will begin to think, and then those emotions begin to flood them. And they consistently focus on that until the emotions come. And there's a notion out there with actors is that it can sometimes be dangerous based upon the character that they're playing, particularly if it's a character that's dark and it's a character, that maybe was insane, or it's based on a real life story or even fictional. So it's a notion out there that with actors that sometimes some of them have gone so deep, they felt like they embodied that person and felt like they were not able to come back. And I can think of a movie that, it's not terrible, but I think of Denzel Washington when he played in this movie called Glory. Oh my gosh, if you know what I'm talking about, all I have to say is the one tear. That to me was the best part of that whole movie because he was acting it. He did not have to say anything in that scene. In fact, he said nothing. He had taken on that character with such force. I believed him and I was taken away with him. So I want to come from our book this week. It's called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And again, if you don't have this book, go out and buy it. We'll be coming from pages 19 and 20. And it says, the soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears. It reaches the height of its cherished aspirations. It falls to the level of its unchastened desires. So if we let our minds go everywhere, then that's what we begin to do. And circumstances are the means by which the soul receives its own. It says, every thought, seed sown, or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there, produces its own blossoming sooner or later into act, and bearing its own fruitage of opportunity and circumstance. Good thoughts bear good fruit, bad thoughts, bad fruit. So when we think about we act how we think, here's my first question. What have you allowed into your eyes and ears? Those are some of our receptors. What are you touching that's bringing thoughts into you? Think about that. And then our next one is what goes in. The thoughts that we allow in based upon the stimuli that we receive outside of us, what comes in goes out, or what goes in comes out. So when you see me behaving a certain way, it's because that's what's in me. And the same for you too. Do not judge me. The same thing for you too. And then our last thought, what comes out reflects only what's within. When you see people misbehaving, acting, we call it bad behavior. Or when you see people just living moral and ethical lives, it's because of what they put in, the thoughts that they continue to think on over and over. So remember, we do act how we think. So let's watch how we think so we can get the actions that we want. So here's our question. How will you watch your thinking since your actions come from them? What are you going to do to steward them? I want you to live a life that leads to success because I want that for you as well as myself. This is your friend Kenesha. I love you. Have a great day.